Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my theory tuition series where we're working together step by step through the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available if you visit my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 and they have all the information you need and they accompany each step of this series. There's also a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials and you can access information about the books that I have available. I've written How to Take Your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's an exam technique guidebook. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to best make use of the time when you're in that exam room. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find that it's all there for you. If you can give me a like, that'd be really great, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come. And so now if you turn with me to page 8, I think. Yep, to page 8 and then quickly on to page 9. Now I'm going to refer to this as section C. And then in your PDF document, you can then turn to section C and you'll see all the information that we'll be referring to for these major and minor keys. Now, in many respects, there's nothing new here because a major key is still, of course, always a major key. A harmonic minor key and a melodic minor key is always the same principle. So there's nothing new there. However, we've got more sharps and flats to be thinking of here. And I always recommend that you just learn to write these progression of key signatures. It's called the circle of fifths, and if you're not sure how to do that, there is a video tutorial. You'll find it in the description below, the link to that video tutorial that I've done. It's called the circle of fifths, and it's the progression of sharps and flats working up or down in fives, and it's a good formula. And every time that you start to work on something to do with major or minor keys, just write this out straight away, fresh each time, and that way you just get used to doing this quickly, and then by the time it comes to the exam you can already just quickly sketch this out without any trouble. It's here for your reference at the moment, but do get used to sort of working that out for yourself. And then we've got the key signatures, but of course you're also going to have tenor and alto clef as well. Now, because we've got lots of sharps and lots of flats going on, we're going to be dealing in double sharps as well, and we're also going to be dealing with enharmonic keys. That sounds really complicated, but it's just the same scale written in a different way. And if we just turned to page 9, you can see how that looks, because here we've got F sharp major, which is F, C, G, D, A and E sharp. There's your 6 sharps. And then that's the same as G flat major, which is your 6 flats. And it looks like it's up a step because we've got F sharp to G flat. It looks like it's positioned up a step. However, it isn't. It's exactly the same, because if you just refer to a piano keyboard, it's much easier to remember, because there's F sharp, which looks like that on the stave, which is the same as G flat, which looks like that on the stave. So here we got F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, which is exactly the same as if you're looking at G flat major, G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, which would have been corresponding to the B, D flat, E flat, F, which would have corresponded to the E sharp in the sharp enharmonic version, G flat. So you can see F sharp and G flat, and so it corresponding steps works out. A scale literally means step, so you've got to have next door notes stepping up this ladder of this stave, and it just looks different but it sounds exactly the same. And so it's just getting used to that. The same principle applies here. So D sharp and E flat is then harmonically the same. It looks like we've written it a step out. However, it works out that it sounds exactly the same because D sharp and E flat is exactly the same. So although that looks quite confusing, it's actually exactly the same thing, just written out in two different ways. You'll notice the arrangement of your sharps and flats here and all the clefs as well. And so really the best thing to do is just to crack on and have a go, and I think you get to grips with it more that way if you just go on and just try it. It's better to learn by your mistakes. You could sit reading it through ad infinitum, but I think that's quite a passive way of learning and you'll soon forget it, whereas if you just dig in and have a go, you'll soon get to grips with it. And so we've got some scales to have a go at adding accidentals. It says do not use key signatures, however you need to bear the key signatures in mind, so by all means refer to this for now until you got used to writing those out for yourself. It's the same keys from grades 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then just the new ones added on to extend that list, so it's not all new material. So for example, that they've given us G flat major, which has got B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats, G flats and C flats. When it's in a flat major key, it's always the key note plus 1. And you just find a little way of remembering this order of flats. I remember it says bead and then you've got G, C afterwards, so just find some way of remembering that. So you can see here we've got B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats. G flats comes twice because that's your keynote. It looks like you've got extras, but you've got the keynote twice, of course. And then we've also got C flat as well here. So it's just knowing your key signature and applying that. So D sharp harmonic minor, we follow the same steps that we've done before, and so we need to know the related major key signature, and then for the harmonic minor we then raise the 7th. So D sharp minor we can see is related to F sharp major, which has got F, C, G, D, A, E. I remember that as 5 cats go down and empty. The next one is barrel in the next step of the system. So we need to know F, C, G, D, A, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sharps. So that's the first step. So let's apply that straight away. We're in bass clef. So F, C, G, D comes twice, of course, A, and then E. B is our only natural, unaffected by that. And then the 7th note of the scale, remember we're counting 8, 7, 6, 5 because we're descending. So this C sharp must now be raised, and so to raise a sharp, it becomes a double sharp. And I would follow that through. Don't try and do it as you go along. You've got an eraser, so just when it comes to the next step, just rub out the sharp and then move on to that next progression of the formula. So if you want to now just apply those principles to this next few in exercise 1, by all means crack on and then come back to the video and we'll work through that together. If not, we can just work through this first exercise together and then you can branch off in the next exercises. Now, if you're not familiar with these clefs, by all means, just give yourself some clues. Of course, we're beginning on note F, F major. You could double check C, B, A, G, F. And so, did I do that right? C, B, A, G, yeah, I just had a little crisis of confidence there. However, if you just count up F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, just give yourself those little prompts underneath. If you're in an exam, you could always rub those out afterwards. And that will just make sure that you're correct and take the thinking away, because we need to keep our brain free for the bits that really need our concentration rather than just working in a clef you're not familiar with. So then, F sharp major has a key signature. We know it's related there of F, C, G, D, A, E sharps. So we can just now add those in. So the F sharp comes twice F, C, G, D, A, E, and because it's a major, that's the end of that. Let's move on. So E flat melodic minor. So E flat minor is related to G flat major. So we need B, E, A, D, G, C flats. So that's the first step of the equation. And then we'll think about the next step afterwards. So let's just add these in. Again, if you're not familiar with the clef, by all means write out the letters underneath. Remember, you're descending now. So B flats. E flats, of course, comes twice. A flats, D flats, G flats, C flats, and then ascending you raise the 6th and the 7th in a melodic minor. However, descending it stays in the relative key signature, so that's the job done. So let's move on to the next one. So of course it's still E flat minor, so that key signature still applies. We're in the treble clef now, so let's do that first of all. Let's apply the relative major key signature. So B flats, E flats comes twice, because that's our key note. A flats, D flats, G flats, oops, that went wonky, dearie me. G flats and C flats, and then a harmonic minor, we raise the 7th, and so that natural becomes, that flat becomes raised to a natural, so you could either leave it empty, no flat required, or you could put a natural sign and just pop that in brackets. There we go. So let's have a go at this last one now. So again, we're in tenor clef, so let's just write D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. That's just made it a whole lot easier. So D sharp minor is related to F sharp major. So I want F, C, G, D, A, E sharp. So let's just apply that key signature now. Remember, the sharps come before the note. We need to know before we play it. Although you write F sharp, we put the sharp first. Obvious point there, I guess. F, C, G, D comes twice, of course. There's our key note. A, E. And then the melodic minor in the ascending form, we raise the 6th and the 7th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6, 7 to the 8th. So the B must now become sharpened. There's our A6th. The 7th is already sharpened, so to sharpen the sharp, we need to make it a double sharp. And that's that. So although it seems like it's really, really tricky, in actual fact, the procedure is exactly the same as you've done in grade 4. We've just got a few more sharps to think about, and we're going to have to start thinking of double sharps now as well. There we go then. So I do hope that that's been helpful to you. I hope that this is an encouragement to you, and I hope that you're enjoying this as much as I am. If you go to sharonbill.com, please do make use of all the resource available to help you there. If you can give me a like, that'd be really fab, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in the pipeline. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.